Hey everybody, it's your friend Jason Pound here answering the top questions asked by home buyers in today's real estate market. The question we're tackling today, what happens after we go under contract on my new house? And the short answer for that is you should have a big old checklist of due diligence items that you're going through. You do not want to purchase a lemon. And just like you would not purchase a used car without having your favorite mechanic look at it, you should not purchase a used home or even a new home without having your favorite home inspector look at it. However, as usual, let me over-explain. When you are hiring your realtor to help you buy a house, you are not hiring a professional door opener. That's what most people think they are doing. You are actually hiring someone to help you negotiate. But more importantly than that, you are hiring somebody that has repetitions in the real estate transaction game, and they have perfected their systems, processes, and standard operating procedures. This is why you hire experts who have niche specialties. Consider crown molding. Sure, any carpenter, even non-carpenters such as myself, can eventually figure out how to install crown molding. But what might take me 2 weeks and possibly thousands of dollars of wasted material would actually take a professional 1 day and maybe $200 in wasted material. That's the difference in real estate when you hire a professional to help you with your transaction. You are looking for someone who has the checklist that is going to save you thousands and thousands of dollars. And what you don't realize is every single checkbox is worth thousands and thousands of dollars. We're talking about contracts with deadlines and commitments that must be kept. And there are hundreds of thousands of dollars on the line. That's what you're really hiring with a realtor. So real quickly, if you are under contract on a new house or thinking about going under contract to purchase a new house, or you are interviewing realtors, here is a very, very basic checklist of milestones that you're going to go through as a potential homeowner. The first thing you do is you make an offer. You submit a contract that says, hey, I'm willing to pay you this much. I want to close at this company. I'm willing to put up this much earnest money. I'll need this many days to investigate, etc., etc. Every single box and blank line in the contract has penalties and consequences for putting the wrong information in the box and also for not meeting the obligation once you sign and agree to that information that you put in the box. The second part, after your offer is accepted, it is important that you submit earnest money. Earnest money is like a layaway down payment. A lot of you are too young to know what layaway is, but for those of you who know what layaway is or don't know what layaway is, back in the day, you used to go down to Walmart. Where I grew up, it was Kmart and Rose's. Mom would go through, have me try on a bunch of clothes, make sure that they fit big. She'd go back to the layaway section, put $10 down, and then every week on paydays, she'd go and make a payment. And eventually in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, I had some new clothes. And by then I'd typically grown into them. Earnest money is your way of telling the homeowner that you are serious about the purchase of this home. And if you violate the terms of the contract, that is your penalty. You will lose that earnest money because you broke the contract. Now, if someone gets angry at you and they feel that the penalty should be larger, they can actually take you to court and try to get more money out of you. So it's very important that before you place an offer, you know that that's the property you want. Earnest money is typically 1%. So if you're buying a $500,000 home, you're typically putting a $5,000 earnest money payment towards the transaction. You don't lose the money. It goes towards the actual cost of buying the home. It's just on deposit, just in case you violate the contract and back out of the deal. The third milestone, inspections. So just like I mentioned over here, you're going to do some due diligence and make sure you're not buying a lemon. Need to have the roof inspected, need to have the foundation inspected, need to have the HVAC inspected, need to have the plumbing inspected. You're going to hire an inspector to go over all of the major big ticket items on the property. Now, you can pay extra to inspectors, and they'll go over it with a fine-tooth comb and look for doors that don't open and close properly, find all sorts of aesthetic blemishes that you should be able to see for yourself. But the things I care about as a realtor are what are the big ticket items that are going to cost you money, that we need to make sure the price is fair for the condition of the home that you're buying. At the end of the inspections, a lot of times, there are some negotiations that go on. A lot of times, there are things discovered that the homeowner wasn't aware of and that the buyer was not aware of. And they both agree that at the current price, that should be taken care of. A common example are termites. In Oklahoma, if you're buying a home and it wasn't disclosed that they have a termite problem, and we discovered there's a termite problem, well, the owners need to take care of that. That's a great example. Number 4, the appraisal. If you are buying a home and paying cash for it, technically you don't have to do an appraisal. But if you're using a loan, you have to get an appraisal. They're around $650 these days. Banks are not willing to lend money unless they know the property is worth what they are about to lend on it. And the appraisal is where the bank is given the feel goods about your deal. And if it doesn't appraise, guess what? We're going to go back to the seller and we're going to renegotiate our original offer and get it in line with the true value of the property. The final milestone, and by the way, these are all happening at the same time. You've got your real estate team, you've got your title company, you have your inspection team, you have your appraisal team, you're right back to the title company. It was said one time that anywhere from 30 to 70 people touch a real estate deal before all the signatures at the closing table are signed. And that's why entering and exiting real estate contracts are so expensive, is there's so many people involved and we have to compensate people for their time. The final milestone is title work. In Oklahoma, title companies research the lineage and the ownership of that property all the way back to the land run, and then investigate each time ownership changed hands and make sure it was done properly. It is very, very common out here in the West that handshake deals were done and properties changed hands at a handshake and a notarized signature, no title work involved. You will not believe how many blemishes on titles that we find here in Oklahoma. And they delay deals, sometimes even kill deals. And you want your title work done because you don't want to purchase a home with a $50,000 tax lien on it, or you don't want to purchase a home with a $25,000 solar panel lien on it. Title work is super, super important because if you have a blemish on your title, the loan company is not going to lend you the money. And if you're paying cash, think in the future one day you're going to have to sell, and more than likely it's not going to be a cash buyer. Statistics say it's going to be somebody with a loan, and you're not going to be able to sell it to them until you get rid of the blemishes on the title. Those are some of the major milestones that your realtor is going to be guiding you through with their standard operating procedures. My name is Jason Pound with Jericho Pound Realty Group. We service the entire OKC metro area with hyper-local expertise in South Oklahoma City, Moore, and Norman. If we can ever be of service, don't hesitate to reach out. We're here to serve. In the meantime, peace out and have a great life.